We'll get started here in just a moment. All right, well, welcome to class 3B. Last week, we spent a good bit of time really digging into the heart aspect of as you get ready to walk into an appointment, as you go to a facial or a party, what kind of internal thought processes do you want to have? Who do you want to be as you show up? What are some best concepts for that? And I hope it was an encouragement to you. I hope it was a good reminder as well that it's not just the tactical stuff, just check, 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 check. A lot more of it actually has to do with your heart and the investment that you make of being excited about investing in women and helping them and serving them. So tonight, this week, we're going to get much more nitty gritty, get down to the details of what do you actually do when you get there. Like, yes, we want to be in a good frame of mind, but what do we do? And so it's a lot more of that mind component. We're going to talk about skills. We're going to give you knowledge to build on. And that's going to be good information. This may be a class you have to review a few times, which is why we send the recordings, so you can do that and kind of take things in to build strong skills. And so what I want to say first off is everyone is different. We all have different gifts. And so the main goal here is that you find the way to create the outcomes from your parties that build success and that give great results. And how you do that really eventually is up to you. I don't want you to come away from this class thinking you have to be exactly like Jess or do everything the way Jess does it to a T to be successful. If you talk to any amount of Mary Kay people, if you do any research, you'll find there's 100 ways to do it. A lot of different styles and, approaches, and that's fine. The big piece is that what I want to share with you today is to give you just a place to start. Early on, when you're brand new, you kind of have to copy because you don't even have anywhere to start. And that was me. I, actually started without any help and it didn't go well. So then I copied my director and got a little bit under my belt, built some confidence, got some practice. And then little by little, I have changed things to where it works more for my personality, for who I am. But the whole point is the outcomes. What matters is the results from those appointments. And so if making an adjustment or a change increases the results that you get, if it helps you to get better outcomes of what we're going to talk about, that's great. So that's the thing to keep in mind. If you change something, if you do something differently, that's fine, but the results are what matter. You don't want to be shortchanging yourself and not being able to create results from your business. So let's talk about what those are. Let's see. Oh, okay, hold on real quick. I'm going to give you my best tips on how to do an appointment. We're going to talk about that tonight, but what I want you to do is write down this phrase, okay? So jot this down in your notes. When I identify something that isn't happening or isn't working right, I can ask myself, why is it not working? So when you identify something that isn't happening, that we've said it should happen, or something that isn't working right, you can ask yourself, why is it not working? And that question has been the key for me for developing the party that I do and the way that I work with people. I had a lot of things that didn't work right, a lot of things that weren't happening. And rather than just being like, well, I guess I can't do it, I guess it doesn't work, I guess people don't, want it. No, what could I say differently? What could I do differently that would get that result? And that little piece has meant everything in my business, and it's given me power. It's given me the ownership of this business. And so I want to encourage you to really have that mindset. If something's not working right, why? What can I do to make a change there? So here's the outcomes that you want to shoot for from every appointment. First off, 2 women that you can have coffee with to share about the Mary Kay story. And originally, early on, it'll be with me. So 2 women that you've pinpointed that you would love to sit down and have coffee with and share Mary Kay. Whether it's for them or not, or because they're amazing women and they may know women who would want it, either way, you identifying 2 wonderful women that you think would be great fits for Mary Kay. That's the first outcome you want to be looking for. The second would be 2 new bookings. So from the women that you meet at a party, 2 women say, you know what, I will get some girls together for my follow-up appointment. I want to gather some people. That's an outcome that's very, very important to the future of your business. And then lastly, 2 skincare sets sold. So 2 women who become new skincare customers. And 1 woman may do 3 of those things. I find that a lot. You get a few that like love it all, and that's wonderful. But those are the outcomes that you want to see coming out of every party. Or out of a facial, it would be a woman to have coffee with about Mary Kay, a woman to book a party, and a woman to buy a skincare set. She could do all 3 of those from a facial. But that's the results that you're going for. So at your words that you choose and the way that you set up your appointment, you want to drive towards those outcomes. And so now I'm going to share with you what I have developed to help make that happen. So it gives you a place to start. So let's look at the anatomy of a skincare class. The anatomy of a skincare class document. And this is basically an overview of what's in the whole flip chart. Last week, I emailed you the flip chart document. It's big, it's got color, and it's long, and that's something you can put together for yourself. And so we'll talk about that in a moment. But the anatomy of a skincare class is a 1-page overview of everything in the flip chart. So it's like the step by step. You do this, then you do this, then you do this. So you just have the order and you have kind of a flow of how it goes. And then the flip chart is the words. It's everything to say and all the pictures and everything like that. So grab the anatomy of a skincare class and let's take a look at this. Number 1 on there is satin hands. That can be a really fun thing to do before the party starts with women. Let them experience that. Let them, scrub, and it's instant gratification. And it's a chance for you to talk and interact with the women before anything gets started. So I enjoy doing that. And that's a great way you can get things rolling as people are arriving, especially if you're killing time waiting for a few. From there, step 2, when you actually get started, is to share the agenda. That means just letting them know what to expect. Women like to be prepared. And so you just share with them, we're going to do great skincare, and then we'll do individual consultations at the end. And I explain, as it says there, that is when I'll get their feedback from the class, I'll answer their questions, and we'll set up a follow-up appointment. I also tell them at this point, if they don't buy a bunch of stuff, it's okay. If they do want to purchase, I have a lot of product on hand so they can take it home right away, but that's up to them. So that's the agenda, just kind of letting them know what's going on. Next, I'll share my iStory, just to give them a little bit of rapport with me. I want them to feel more than just, oh, it's a nice Mary Kay lady, but to actually know a little bit about my background, why I decided to do Mary Kay, because like many of you, I'm sure, I didn't decide to do Mary Kay because I was passionate about makeup or passionate about sales or wanting to sell lipstick door to door. That was not it. There was something else that I came into Mary Kay for. And so for me, I love to share that with women. Like, you guys, I am not what you think. I do Mary Kay, and I did Mary Kay for my family and for the opportunities that it opened up for me. So it's a chance for you to share your iStory, 2 to 3 minutes, that connects their heart to you, that helps them to care about you. We'll teach more on that in the future, but that's kind of the overview of an iStory. Number 4 is to intro Mary Kay. And this part isn't meant to go for 10, 15, 20 minutes or anything like that, but there is a very important aspect of helping them understand why Mary Kay Cosmetics. They have so many options. There are so many companies they can purchase from. So this is your chance to just share some of the factors that make what Mary Kay awesome in your opinion. And so for me, I love sharing about our pricing, how we're kind of like Sam's Club. If you may spend a little more upfront, but it lasts so long that per ounce it's cheaper than Neutrogena. I love sharing that. I love sharing where we fall as far as the quality. And then I love giving them a little bit of like who we are as far as what happens when they spend money with Mary Kay, where their dollars going. So those things are in the flip chart, things that we can share. You may learn other tips, other facts that just get you pumped up. And those are the things to share because they're going to sense that enthusiasm. They're going to sense that you're excited about being a part of Mary Kay and proud to represent us. So that's introducing the company. And then number 5 is great skincare. You'll go through the Ultimate Miracle set with all the women and be able to kind of take them through that. That's right in the flip chart. Number 6 is the marketing game. That is where you have tickets and you go through the 6 ways that we enrich women's lives. And that is all written out in detail in the flip chart as well. You don't have to make anything up. It's all there. But just going through and giving out tickets, it's fun, it's upbeat. And at this point is where you get to kind of help them to understand the business side of who we are. Number 7 is the fabulous referral game. And this is their chance to get something free. Again, if they're not super speedy with the marketing game, they can win on the fabulous referral game. And I absolutely love this game because it is the hope of my business. I've never lived in my hometown. I've never had a huge pool of people to pull from for my business. So referrals are the bread and butter of what I do. They're how I have people to call, how I have bookings. And so even though right now you may be working with friends and family a lot and pulling from, your contacts, do the referrals. A, so you get used to it and you get comfortable with it and you get good. B, so that when the day comes where you're like, I feel like I've run out of people, you have a list of name after name after name that you can start to contact. So that's the fabulous referral game. Then number 8, share the specials. This is crucial. I didn't know about specials my first 3 parties, and I didn't sell anything. As soon as I learned about specials and doing individual consultations with them, I literally saw everything change. It was like it fixed all of my problems. So I am a huge fan of the specials, and we'll cover that, what those look like. Then you'll have them make a wish list on the back of their card of just if they had all the money in the world, if they could get whatever they wanted, what would they want? And then number 10 is doing individual consultations. And that's where, you've wrapped up everything with the group at the table and you start to meet with each woman individually one-on-one for a couple minutes to find out about those results, those outcomes that we talked about, to see who's going to be the skincare set person, who's going to be the booking, who's going to be the woman to have coffee with me. That's where you'll get that part. And so that's the step-by-step overview of what we do at a facial or a party. Obviously, if it's a facial, we don't play games, but we still do all of the steps and still say the same information. It's just very relaxed. It's just one-on-one across the table instead of, presenting to 4, 5, 6 women. So that is how the anatomy of the skincare class goes, the step-by-step process of that and the order that you're going to walk through. It's really important too that you just don't skip anything. Like don't, leave parts out just for fun or just because today you don't feel like the best thing you can do is stay true to that process, stay true to the flip chart, walk through the anatomy. And the more that you do it, the more comfortable you get with it, the more you can make it your own and really own those pieces and have fun with it. So it's really, really important to do that. So let's see from here. Let's talk about the flip chart. I did email that in the last week's email. So if you haven't yet printed it out, if you haven't yet taken a look at that, go back to 3A, and that is there. And this is my binder for my flip chart. It is simple. It probably costs $2 at Walmart. And the way that you set it up is like this. So you teach off the front and you're reading off the back. So you have to stagger your pages a little bit. They are all in page protectors. So I have the back of page 1 facing me and page 1 for them facing them. And then I flip it, and so the back of page 2 is now at me and they see page 2 front. So hopefully that makes sense. And the flip chart is set up to print this way, so you can back and forth from page to page. And I'll tell you what, the back of the flip chart is my party. It's the words I use. I wrote this myself. Of course, I got trained and, originally it came from my mentors and things. But these are the words that I use, the jokes I tell, the facts that I love. So you can trust it, and it's not like formulated. It's not stiff. It's what I choose to do and how I present at every appointment. And so I want to encourage you, print this out, get this in your book, and then practice with it. If there is one thing that you can do to help yourself out, to build your confidence, is to practice with this. Literally read off the back, force yourself to be poised and to, pretend like women are there. Do it to your hubby if he's the kind that you can. Sometimes that's not a good idea, but really, truly practice this. It will not be comfortable. It will not feel natural until you've done it 10 times or more. And so you want to get to the point where you really do feel like you can flow with it. And so that's really important. So a couple things to comment on. There are a few pages through here that have my info on there. You'll notice, and in your flip chart version, they're blank. So you'll want to take a few minutes to actually fill in your story and your pictures and things. And so if you go to page, let's see, 4, if you go to page, I think it's 4, the why story, you're going to have a couple spots where you can put pictures that share your Mary Kay journey. And right now it's not very long, and that's okay. But it's not about being ashamed, well, I've been Mary Kay for a month. I haven't yet done Mary Kay for a year. You can say that. And then show just a few pictures that represent why Mary Kay for you. Why are you doing this? My tips for you is to be brief. Don't wax eloquent. You don't need to say, well, I went to a party and my friend was doing it and I thought it sounded fun, so I met with her director and they decided to have me. That's not an I story. Nobody cares. The I story is something like, I started my business 7 years ago. I was newly married and had a full-time job. We were paying our bills just fine, but we had a lot of school debt and I had a dying green car. And we really just needed something to help get us financially where we wanted to be. And I didn't want to sell my soul to another job. So that kind of information, just kind of where were you at? And then what the next piece is to be authentic. So be honest about what were you dealing with? What was going on in your life? What were you feeling? Maybe discouraged. Maybe you were feeling overwhelmed. Maybe you were feeling hopeless. And then be present tense as well. So versus saying, I'm trying to do this. I'm going to see what happens. No, I am choosing to bring in more income for my family. I am choosing to earn a new car for us. So present tense that you are currently doing something, not trying to do something or hoping to do something. That doesn't convey very much strength. And you want women to be drawn in by your story and to be connected to you, not to think, oh, okay. So that is the first part of the why story, is just sharing why you're getting started. And I have 2 pages just to show some before and afters and share a little bit. You can have 1 or 2 pages yourself and just, put some pictures in there and go for it. Now I want to have you go to page 21. Let's see. Basically, after you go through all the skincare products from that Anatomy of the Skincare class, you're going to teach them through all of that. Then you get to the foundation. You finish the foundation. And then before you do the marketing game, this is where you come back and you share just a little bit more of your eye story. So the first part is, why did you get started? How did you, decide to start Mary Kay? What is that all about? And then you go into the skincare and you move through those products and get everybody looking great. And then at this point, you transition to page 21. Page 21. And as you set up playing the marketing game, you're going to tell them a little bit more about why you're doing Mary Kay now. So what is the goal that you're working towards? And this is where it's super important to be present tense and authentic, saying whatever it may be. I'm tired of living paycheck to paycheck. And so Mary Kay is providing me with the flexibility so we don't have emergencies every week. Or I hate leaving my kids at daycare. It's not what I want. And Mary Kay is going to be the way that I'm able to not have to do that anymore, but to work for myself from home. So whatever your goal is, this is where you get to share it with them on page 21. And you can put pictures on here and cover this up and just put pictures of what you're working towards. And this is your chance again to really solidify that these women are like, I want to help her. I want to partner with her. She has something she's going after, and that's what we want. So as you share that with them, then you transition into the marketing game, and it says right on the back on the script, it says, oops, I got to flip a page. It says, okay, for our game, I'm going to say a letter. And you will each rummage in your purse to find an item that starts with that letter. The first person to pull it out will get a ticket, and then I'll tell you what that letter means in Mary Kay. So you've got tickets. They are looking around to see what starts with that letter, and then you just say, as a company, our passion is to enrich women's lives, and we do that in many different ways. Particularly when women join our company, they can benefit in some awesome ways. And so all of these letters apply to how to do that. So the first letter is B. And you let them rummage in their purses and they find something that starts with a B and pull it out. And you give a ticket to the first one, and then you can say, okay, B stands for beauty. Of course, as a skincare and makeup company, we invest in helping women to feel beautiful. We believe that women today don't see their true value and worth. And when we sit across the table from them at a party or a facial, or we help them with a skin issue that they have, we can communicate not just how to feel beautiful on the outside, but that we care and that we value who they are on the inside. So that's B. And then it takes you through 6 letters just like that of the marketing game. And there are some fun pictures on the front to just be visuals and things like that that go along with it. But that game is your chance to let your heart show as far as what we do. And you can let them know, we don't expect everyone to want to sell Mary Kay. We need customers, but we never know what a woman is praying for, or someone in your life that is praying for. And so it's fun to be able to share the real story of who Mary Kay is. So that's the marketing game. Then from there, after you do that, you do the referrals, fabulous referrals, and I will show you. That is page 25. And what they're going to do get myself organized here, is you'll give, very nice, you'll give them each a sheet, and typically it's blank, It should be blank. And so they each get a sheet, and then you'll simply say, you know, the way that we build our business in Mary Kay is by meeting the fabulous women in your lives. And so if there are women who you think would have had fun tonight, they would have just enjoyed the pampering and the, you know, products, or maybe you think that, you know, they may or may not be a product person, but they would love to know that they were helping me earn the truck for my husband that I shared with you, or helping me bring my kids home from daycare. All they have to do is, you know, try things and have fun, and they can. And so then you'll share with them, there's a couple ways you can play this game. But the way that is in the flip chart is when I say go, I'm going to give you guys 2 minutes to start filling out this sheet. The first person who gets to 10 gets 10 tickets, and then everybody gets a ticket per name that they write down. And so we'll take 2 minutes, but then you can finish up the rest of the time as well. So grab your cell phone and a pen, feel free to share, and you'll get, like I said, a ticket per name, and the first 1 to 10 gets an extra 10 tickets. Go. And you just set them loose, and you just wait, and they fill it out and refer wonderful, wonderful women in their lives. Now, the piece that can be changed is how you do the game. If you want to say, you know, everybody who refers 10 people gets a free eyeshadow, you can do that. It depends on how much you need referrals. I usually give anybody who refers 10 a free eyeshadow, and if they refer 20, I give them a free mascara, because I love having referrals. I want those names, and I want to award the women. You can say if they fill out the sheet, they get a $10 gift certificate. I mean, you can do whatever feels good, whatever feels worthwhile to you, but the main thing is just somehow make it fun, make it a game, and give everybody the sheet and give them a few minutes and let them go, and they will fill it out many, many times. So that's how to do the referrals. And then the last sheet is the close. And so this is our special sheet, and it is in the flip chart right here. So you just turn to the next page, and then I also emailed it. Yes, it was in the email. It's called Miracle Feel Beautiful. So you can print more of these. The fabulous referral sheet I also emailed you, so you can print off a bunch of those at the beginning of each month and have those in your bag ready, or put them in the back of your flip chart ready, however you want to organize it. But those special sheets are super important to have made up. We talked about this last week a little bit, but I do make sure, and I print them on 2 separate pieces of paper. You can tell, because if you print them back to back, they bleed through and it's hard to read them. But our special sheets is 2 pages. I just put them in page protectors. That helps them know that I want them back and not to write on them or get them all wet and goopy. And so when you finish the referral game and you've done the marketing game, then you'll see on the scripting right behind this sheet, it says, if you like a good deal, I have some for you. Now remember, I love you whether you buy or not, but the specials might get you excited because they are a good deal. So also, just so you know, we do accept check, cash, credit, debit, and we offer a 2-payment option if that's helpful for you to break it up. I know the budget can get tight at times, so if it would be helpful to split your purchase into 2 chunks, let me know and I'll work with you. So here's what's available, and then you simply explain the sets. And I always tell them there are no rules in Mary Kay, but we have sets based on what you did tonight. The basic set, which is the cleanser, the moisturizer, and the foundation. That threesome is for the most simple woman who doesn't want a whole lot of fuss, but she just wants good basic skincare. That set, all 3 pieces last from 4 to 6 months. So you're not having to rebuy often, but man, it's awesome. And it gets you started on great skincare. That set is $66. And if you wanted to start there, you could choose an additional item half off. Then we have the Miracle set. this is the most popular by far because you get the basics, but then you also get the day and night serums, that magic eraser, the J-Lo in a bottle, the shrinking and tightening and healing of scars and all that good stuff. And those little guys last 6 months each. And so that set typically would be $130, but it's $99 in the specials. And then at the top is the ultimate set, and that is for the woman who is not messing around. Like, she wants the best she can do for her face. So it's everything we did tonight, the Miracle Set plus the microdermabrasion and the eye cream. And then it also has a mascara and a makeup remover, because most women who really want to do it all, those two things they need and want anyway. So that's the ultimate set. It's worth $251, but you would get it for $199 tonight. So I'm going to pass these sheets out so you can check out the options that are there. And there's a spot on the back of the card, number 11, no, 9, where you can jot a wish list. If you could get anything, and it didn't matter, and the budget wasn't important, what would you want? What would you want to take home with you tonight? And then we can kind of work on it and talk about, you know, what options would be best for you. And then on the back, this is the business side. So if, as we played our game earlier, or as I've talked, something has stirred in your heart and you thought, man, I would love to know more about the Mary Kay business side, or you're thinking about it for someone in your life, this side will talk you through those details and gives you kind of some info to look at. So feel free to check that out. So that's how I share the specials. And literally, that's pretty much how I say it. And you'll find your way. But as you'll notice, it's lighthearted. It's not intense, but it's also not like apologetic of, well, like, we've got specials and I know like you probably don't have any money and you don't want to buy anything, but here you go. No, it's just informational, enthusiastic. These are amazing deals. Like, hello. And if you compare these prices to other stores and companies, it's a doggone good deal. Plus all the other things about partnering with Mary Kay. So be excited. Don't be embarrassed. And just find the way that you say, you know, it's okay. I'm not stressing about whether you buy, but here are some really great deals for them. So once you've gone through that with them and you've covered those details, then you'll start to sit down with the women one-on-one and do the individual close time. And that information is also in the flip chart. There's the other page of the specials. So the strong individual close is printed right in the flip chart. All of that is there so that you can sit down with this in your lap and follow along and get that done. We're going to cover that next week. We're going to really take time to go through that individual close, talk you through, help you to understand how it works. But it is in there. So if you're wanting to work ahead a little bit, if you want to read through it and kind of see, it's right there. But that's the anatomy of the appointment, the step-by-step process we walk, and the purpose is so that when you get to the end, you've set yourself up to get results, to have a good outcome of women who fall in love with our product, who want to have fun with their friends too, and who may have a little dream in their heart now regarding Mary Kay, or at least a bigger picture of it. And so that whole presentation should only be about 45 minutes. If you have a large group and they're having fun and talking a lot, it might go longer, but you don't want to be the one taking more than about 45 minutes in that whole process. And so again, practice, read through it, say it, say it, say it, say it 100 times, you know, get it out. And don't be afraid to read the flip chart. 7 years in, I still hold it, and I don't read it anymore. I really pretty much have it memorized, but I think it shows preparation. It shows training. It shows that you respect what you do when you don't just wing it. I don't really want you to wing it for me. And so remember, the women that are sitting in front of you, they are not going to be questioning why you're reading from a chart. They're going to be like, oh, good, they help her. They taught her stuff, especially your family and friends who are like, you don't know anything. What are you doing? They realize, oh, okay, so there's training, and that's really important. So we're going to read those up. We're going to read through those next week and talk through the details of that. But go ahead and print your fabulous referral sheets, print your special sheets, get those put together. I do like to have at least 10 special sheets. So you can pass those out at the end of the party, and enjoy practicing. Practice, practice, practice. Work on that voucher, and then we'll be back next week to talk about how do you close the appointment and some of the things that go from there. So have a good night. Thanks for joining me.